So, we're doing part 11 of the Honda VF engine. Now, some kind of unfortunate things. This is not a Honda VF 1100 engine. This is a Honda VF 1000. Now, I had no idea about that. When I bought this engine, the guy I bought it from told me it's an 1100. Everybody else since then has told me it's an 1100 engine. And then somebody on Instagram messaged me and told me, like, hey, you do know that's not a VF 1100. It's a VF 1000 Inceptor. It's actually a bit of a better engine. It has more horsepower, more torque at a high RPM. This thing revs up to 10,000 RPM. It's off of a racing bike, which is kind of better. It's just unfortunate because I had already bought everything I needed to get the Honda VF 1100 running. The carburetors, the wiring, everything I needed to get this engine running, and then a couple days later I found out that, oh, by the way, this is not a VF 1100. It's a VF 1000. It's a similar engine, it's just all the wiring and all the carburetors are completely different. So I've been having to spend a couple days up to a week in buying all new stuff for this engine. By the way, this is a much harder engine to find parts for. They only made this thing for around 2 years. So it's kind of rare. It's kind of, you know, a bit unfortunate because I'm having a hard time finding parts for it. I already found the carburetors. I'm going to try and use the radiator for an 1100 because I already bought that. I'm going to try and use some of the wiring for the 1100 for this engine. I already bought a new wiring harness, just more stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have everything I need right now. I'm still waiting for stuff to get here in the mail. I'm still waiting for this, waiting for that. I still need to, I'm waiting for a magazine, the Honda manual thing for this engine where it tells me everything I need to get this engine running. So I'm waiting for that, so therefore I can figure out all the wiring I need. So a bit unfortunate. I kind of wish I had known that before buying everything for the 1100, but I'm really glad I found out when I did, because I'm glad I didn't install the wiring, hook up everything, and then it wouldn't run. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't running, and then you know, so I'm glad I found out when I did, but I kind of wish I just found out a little bit earlier before buying everything for the 1100. So this is a better engine, revs more, has around 120 horsepower and 85 newton meters of torque at 10,000 RPM. So it revs more, it has slight more horsepower, just at a higher RPM, so I'm going to have to rev this engine higher. But it should still work. It should still be perfect. Now, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing in this video. I have a bunch of lights I can hook up. We're going to install the brake pedal, gas pedal, clutch pedal. I need to install the gear shifter. There's just a lot of just random stuff we need to do to get this thing. We're not going to get this thing running in this video, unfortunately. I'm still waiting on the carburetors to get here. I was able to swap those out with the guy I bought them from for the 1100. I was able to swap them out for the 1000. So, a bit unfortunate, but at least I know now before hooking up all the wiring. But yeah, let's hook up some of the wiring. Let's maybe hook up the lights. I need to install a battery on here. Let's get the radiator installed. Maybe an electric winch on the back. Let's just keep working on this thing, and then hopefully one of these videos we're gonna get this thing fired up. So I know you guys are wondering why there's 4 pedals. Now, can you guys even see them? I guess so. So the one in the back, the one over here that's not hooked up to anything, this is the gas pedal that's not hooked up yet. The 2 in the middle, this one and this one right here, these are the brake pedals. There's 2 of them. I'll explain that in a second. And then this is the clutch, the hydraulic clutch. I'm really glad it's hydraulic, just so it makes it a whole lot easier to hook up. If it was a normal clutch, it would lose a lot of friction in a cable going all the way over there, so it'd kind of be inefficient. So it's hydraulic, works a lot better, it's a lot more efficient, so it's going to be a lot easier to push the pedal. Hopefully that's enough movements, therefore it's easy to slowly let the clutch out. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have to change that up. I may have to raise this up a little bit more and all that, but I'll figure that out once I first test drive this thing. So the whole idea on 2 brake pedals is because we have rear brakes, because we have front brakes, I kind of wanted separate control between the front and the rear brakes. So this was the easiest way I could figure out how to do that. Just have 2 brake pedals. One brake pedal operates the rear brakes, the other brake pedal operates the front brakes. If we're driving and we want to do some cool burnout and lock up the rear wheels, all we have to do is hit the rear brake pedal and it should lock up the rear brakes. If we want to, if we want to do an awesome burnout, if this thing is even capable of burnouts, then we want to lock up the front wheels. All we got to do is hit the front brake pedal and it should lock up the front wheels without touching the back brakes. So we can hit both of the brakes at the same time if we have to emergency stop, but we have easy control over the front and rear brakes. So I know they make those, the hydraulic control boxes where it's like a knob or some kind of switch or something, to where you can either turn on or off the rear brakes or the front brakes, or control how much the rear brakes, work or something like that. I know they make those, it seemed a little bit complicated, a little bit expensive. I decided to do this just because it's easy, it's cheap, and it seems to be the easiest way to do this. Now, unfortunately, the brake lines that I bought, the banjo style brake lines, they're not long enough to reach the engine and reach the back caliper, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to hook 2 of them together to extend it. I bought the longest ones I could find on eBay and Amazon and all those websites. Can't find any longer ones. Ideally, I'd need ones that are like 10 feet long. I don't know if they don't make them, or I don't know, I just can't seem to find them, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to connect 2 of them together so I can just extend it, so therefore I can reach it to the engine and the rear brake caliper. So I'll figure that out tomorrow. So this is basically the easiest way I could figure out how to extend hydraulic lines. It's basically just a piece of round stock that I drilled a hole through and welded 2 of these, these are M10 by 1.25 hex nuts. Can you see that? That are basically just welded on either side. As long as my welds hold, this should work. And this allows you to take these I don't know what you call them, these things, and just thread them in. So therefore, these banjo style connectors, or whatever they're called, just allows you to thread them in on both sides and allows you to do that. So in theory, this should work. I have no idea. We're gonna test these out, and as long as my welds hold, these should work. mount right here is hitting the thing, so I can't put it on, and I need it on because of the hydraulic clutch, so desperately need that fixed. So, Auxbeam has sent us some headlights to put on this buggy. I chose 4 pod lights instead of one big light bar for the front, or for the top, the roof, whatever. I'm hoping this is going to look a little bit better. It seems to be more of the dune buggy style type look with just 4 of these pod lights on top instead of a big light bar. They also sent us 2 other types of pod lights. These are for the headlights. They also sent us this. This is their red, green, and blue color changing light pole, flagpole type thing. I'm not sure what to call it. But super excited about this. This thing looks awesome. It's gonna make this buggy look more like a dune buggy, which is gonna be awesome. So can't wait to plug this up and play around with it. It's got an app you can download to change the colors and everything. So I'll be putting links in the description below so you guys can find all this stuff. Go check that out. We're not gonna be wiring any of the stuff up today. We're just gonna be installing it, and then wiring is gonna be for the next video. So, we finally got the lights installed, we got the pedals installed. Didn't I explain why there's 4 pedals? I think I explained that, I'm not sure. If I haven't explained it, there's just 2 brake pedals. Simple enough. 2 brake pedals, 1 pedal operates the rear brakes, the other pedal operates the front brakes. Simple enough, 2 brake pedals. So, now, I did install, I kind of, you know, tacked on here the radiator, I guess that's where it's going. We also installed the wiring box, that's just a plastic, plastic ammo box that I think I bought at like Walmart or something. I'm planning on stuffing all the wiring in that. We got the hydraulic clutch. The only 2 pedals that I added fluid to was the hydraulic clutch and the rear brake. On the front calipers, I'm missing one of the bleeder screws, so therefore I can't bleed the brakes right now. I bought a couple online, hopefully they're the right size, so I'm waiting for that to finish the front brakes, but every video we're getting closer and closer to getting this thing fired up. Now the next video is going to be working on the wiring. I'm not going to promise that we're going to get it running in the next video, just because who knows what's going to happen. I'm probably going to run into some major issue of this is wrong, this is broken, this is missing, whatever. Who knows? So we're doing the wiring in the next video. In the next video of this project. The next video I upload is probably going to be painting. In case you guys haven't noticed, I've had these things hanging around here. I'm painting the dual engine go-kart, so that's going to be the next video. But, so we're almost ready to get this thing fired up. Now I have to thank Auxbeam for sending me the lights, the headlights, the pod lights, and the flag LED light. I also have to thank Go Power Sports for sending me all the other parts, the steering wheel, the steering components, the brakes, the brake lines, these other stuff that I haven't put on here yet. I'll be putting links in the description below to where you guys can find all these parts. But I gotta end this video here. Thank y'all for watching. I'll see ya in the next one.